Okay, hello everybody. Today we are going to see how frequency shift keying circuit can be implemented in LT-SPICE. This is a series of lectures in which I am explaining how to implement various communication system circuits in LT-SPICE. Right? This is not a theoretical class. It is just the practical implementation of some communication system circuits. So in the first class we saw AM modulation circuit and the AM demodulation circuit. In the second class we saw about the amplitude shift keying, and today we are going to see frequency shift keying, right? So what is a frequent key shifting is like this is the digital data which needs to be transmitted from place A to place B. Obviously we can't transmit DC signals in long wires or even in the through RF signals, right? So they have to be converted into some analog signals, RF signals, right? So this is like for what frequency shift keying does is see this for the digital 0 a certain frequency is sent, and for digital 1 certain other frequency. So we require two frequencies, so F1, F2. So these two frequencies should be distinguished at the receiver end to again get back the 0 and 1, right? Digital signals, logic 0 and logic 1. So let's see some of the circuits. So this is a circuit which is implemented with an NPN transistor and a PNP transistor. Okay, so this is the first frequency which is of 1 kilohertz, which is given here, and this is the second frequency which is of 5 kilohertz. Okay, one frequency is 1 kilohertz and the other one is of 5 kilohertz. Okay, so now if you see here, this is the digital signal. Now for this particular circuit where I have used both NPN and PNP, I require a digital signal which is plus minus signals. Okay, so minus 5 and 5 is the digital signal which I have used here. So that is the data. Okay, so now when I give a plus 5 signal here, this transistor, NPN transistor, switches on and it will pull this node to 0. Okay, so this will pull this node to 0. So there will be 0. And when I apply a minus 5, this transistor is off, and this signal through this R resistance, it is available at this node. Similarly, when I give a plus 5 signal here, this will be switched off because this is an PNP transistor. This will be switched off, and this signal will be routed towards the output. Whereas when I give minus 5, this PNP transistor will be switched on and this node will be pulled to 0. Okay, so it's the other way around. Like if this is switched on, it will be 0 here, and if it is switched off, this signal, because when this is switched on, this ground would be available here. Okay, and similarly when this is switched on, this ground will be available here. Now this is an op amp, the 741, and this is just a summer circuit, right? So plus, you can refer to any analog communication course in which how to implement a adder circuit. So this just adds these two signals. Okay, so this is an adder circuit. So obviously it will phase inverse these two signals because it's an inverting amplifier, but that doesn't make any difference. So let's see the simulation. So this is the data signal. Okay, so let me just make it okay. Let me plot the output also. So this is one frequency. So you can see this, right? So make it 6 and minus 6 so that the edges are visible. So this is the digital data, and for digital 1, if you see when the signal is 1, okay, that means this is switched on, right? So if this is switched on, there is no signal going from the top, and this is switched off. The PMOS is switched off, the PNP is switched off. So I have this higher frequency coming here, right? And whereas when the signal is low, right, when the logic 0, or which corresponds to minus 5 volt, in that case the top transistor NPN is switched off, and you have this 1 kilohertz signal. This is 1 kilohertz signal from the top, which is coming to this amplifier. So this is a very simple circuit to implement an FSK signal. Okay, so let me close this and show you a different circuit. Now suppose I don't have that plus minus signal. Suppose my digital data is coming from a microprocessor mu p for a microcontroller where the signal is between 0 to 3.5, 3.3 volt itself. It can be 0 to 5 volt also, whatever the case may be, but there is no negative voltage here, right? So I cannot use a PNP transistor. So I got to use only NPN transistors. So the simple way is use this, use an inverter out here, and this is an this represents an inverter, right? When the data is 0, this will be switched off, so this 3.3 volt will be available here, and when the data is 1, this transistor will be switched on and it will be pulled to 0. So this is a BJT based inverter, okay. So you have a data being inverted here, and these are the two transistors, and since this input data is complement of each other, now for a 0, this will be switched off, and when the data is 1, this will be switched off, right? So whenever these transistors are switched off, this signal will go here and this signal will come here. So this is 5K and this is 1K frequencies, and when they are switched on, these node one of them will be, whenever the transistor is switched on, a ground will be available here, and this signal will be prevented from going to the next stage. So this circuit can be used in case you don't have that plus minus digital data, but you have 0 to 3.3 or 0 to 5 volt, okay. So this is the data. Now if you see here, this data is so this data is not going to the negative, okay. It is 0 here, so from 0 to 3.5, and this is the like this is a 5K signal, and this is my 1K signal, okay. So two different frequencies are being transmitted. And now comes how to demodulate this at the receiving end, okay. So let me discuss how it can be demodulated. So now this is the FSK signal, okay. So this is the FSK signal. Now I have an either two datas coming, two kinds of frequencies which is coming here, which is 1K and 5K. So this is a very simple circuit which I have designed. So what this is a low pass filter, okay, and this low pass filter, okay, this is going to attenuate my 5K signal, okay. So I have taken this value so that the 5K signal is getting attenuated here. It is going to allow only the 1K 1 kilohertz signal. 5 kilohertz signal is being attenuated here, and then I have used a diode and an RC network to rectify that circuit. So at point B, I am going to get an DC signal which is which will be available only when this 1K signal is available, okay. In the bottom portion, what I have done is I have used the C and R here. So the low frequency will be stopped out here, okay. So it wouldn't allow 1K to pass, it will allow the 5K to pass, okay, and that is available here. And I have used a comparator. So now what happens when I have an 1K frequency coming here, okay. So that would pass here and it will be available here. But when I have the 5K which is coming, then this wouldn't allow the 5K. This would be available here, okay. And I have used this plus minus out here, so it is going to compare. So if I do the simulation here, so this is my data, okay, right, and this is my frequency, okay. This is being now if you see here, okay, this low pass filter. So if you see here, this is this is allowing this red one, what you see, okay, it is allowing the low frequency, that is 1 kilohertz to pass, and it is attenuating the 5K here. And here if I see here, okay, let me remove some of the signals. This is the data, this is the low pass. So if you see here, here it is attenuating the high frequency, and the second frequency here, and it is attenuating the low and allowing the high to. So these two signals now, these two circuits, one is going to allow the high frequency, and this is a rectifier circuit. Okay, so let me plot A and B as well, and then the demodulated one, right? So if you see here, this is the A and after filtering, right? So now once you pass these two signals here, if you see here, this is more and this signal is low, and here let me put one over the other. Here this signal is more and this is less, and here when the data is 0, this is more and this is less, right? So that way, and when I send this particular signal, okay, this after the filter, after the filter and after the rectification, so I'll get, and this is the demodulated waveform. So let me put it in a better color, right? So this the brown one is the digital input data, and the red one is the demodulated output, right? So right, so you will find a little bit of an lag out here. Okay, that can be minimized. Okay, I have used a simple RC, okay, to implement a low pass filter and a high pass filter. So this is a very rudimentary circuit. This is to block 5 kilohertz, and this is to block 1 kilohertz, right? And you can see that, right, from the LPF and the these characteristics. Right. So now obviously this is there is still a small amount of signal going here, small amount of signal going here. So this is a very rudimentary circuit. So if you use a better filter out here at this and this, or a band pass filter which will just allow 1 kilohertz and 5 kilohertz, then you whatever a little bit of lag you are finding between the data and the demodulator, that can also be eliminated. Okay, so essentially when the two frequencies are there, you need to have two circuits which will one which would suppress frequency 1 and allow frequency 2 to go through. The other one will be the opposite of that. Okay, and then you put it into a comparator. So this is a simple way of demodulating and frequency shift keying circuit. Okay, and if you are working in the VLSI domain, then I can use a simple NMOS pass transistor NMOS logic to implement a frequency shift keying. So this is an NMOS. There are two NMOS which are placed here, and I have taken this data. Okay, I have, since it is 180 nanometer technology files, I have taken power supply as 1.8. Okay, so and I am assuming that the digital data is available to control these two gates. Okay, so the complementary is available. So I have taken this digital and digital data and data bar signals, which is being given to NMOS. So when this data is on, so this signal will be routed towards the output, and when the data is 0, since this is data bar, this NMOS will be switched on and this data will be routed towards. So in VLSI circuits, you just require two NMOS which and in a pass transistor configuration. So you will get this, right? So if I plot the data also, here if you see data which I have used is 0 to 1.8 volt, 1.8 volt, and this data bar will be complementary of that, right? So this is data, this is data, and this is data bar, right? Accordingly, frequency 1 and frequency 2. Okay, accordingly, one of these NMOS transistors can be switched on, right? So in case you don't have a data bar and you don't want to generate data bar, then instead of this data bar here, I might use a PMOS transistor. Okay, so that will also serve the purpose. So this is a simple way of generating FSK in a VLSI chip. Okay. So with this, I will stop it for today. In the next class, we will talk about how to implement a pulse amplitude modulation circuit in LTSPICE. Thank you.